right, good afternoon, everybody. My name's Phil Griffin, Chairman of the Brockton Redevelopment Authority. I want to welcome you all here this afternoon on behalf of the BRA and its Board of Directors. I want to introduce my fellow Board Directors, Mr. Gene Marrow, Ms. Suzanne Fernandez, Mr. Jerry Smith, and Richard Johnson is here or on his way. But thank you all for coming out today. I know this is supposed to be spring. We're a bit cold today, but I was thinking of spring this morning. You look around the city now, you see these cranes and construction sites sprouting up. That all didn't happen by accident. It really took one man with a vision to change the image of downtown, the perception of downtown. And the vision's one thing, but putting a plan in action is another. And he did that by reinvigorating the city's planning department, interesting private funding to come in to fund some of these projects, and just had the wherewithal to fight this through to see it coming. And that man is my friend, Mayor Bill Carpenter. I want to bring him up right now.
Well, thank you, Phil, and I certainly want to be sure that we acknowledge the role of the Redevelopment Authority in pulling this project together, because it's the BRA that actually took possession of this property from the city and then negotiated the development agreement with Joffrey, with the developer. And that's the model to make these private sector deals happen. And we certainly appreciate all the work of the BRA. I want to make sure that I acknowledge some elected officials we have here, and if I miss somebody, help me. But from the City Council, Dennis Aneri is here today, Councilor Aneri. Next to him also from the Council, Ward 1 Councilor Tim Cruz is here with us today. From our state legislative delegation, Jerry Cassidy, state representative. And I want to be sure to mention that both Senator Brady and Representative Cronin both did reach out to me, and they are tied up on Beacon Hill and could not get out in time to get down here. But they are very aware of the project and very supportive, and we appreciate their support. And Southeastern Regional School Committee, Mark Lindy, is here somewhere. So it is really exciting for me to welcome you all here today. 2019 is going to be a historic year for the city of Brockton, and particularly for the redevelopment of downtown Brockton. This is one of half a dozen major projects that will break ground and go under construction this year. And I guess we could have picked a little nicer day for this, but it's always a good day when we're building a beautiful new building. But think about what this project represents, because this really hits on all of the goals that we've been striving for in the downtown. For those of you that are familiar with the downtown, up until a couple years ago, there was a tall brick, burnt out professional building that stood here for about 9 or 10 years. Burnt out, vacant. It was a monument to everything that was wrong with the downtown. It was a monument to a depressed downtown. And we were able to take that building down, which then made this parcel suitable or attractive for redevelopment. And then by getting it in the hands of the BRA and then eventually them initiating the development deal with Joffrey Anatole is what makes this project come together. So I mean, it's the fact that this was a long time vacant, abandoned, depressed, ugly site that is now going to have a spectacular brand new building on it. It's the fact that what's being built here is 100% market rate units, luxury units, 100% market rate, people paying top dollar to come live in a beautiful building right here in the heart of downtown. And the final thing is, I know we have Rich Spencer here from Mutual Bank, and I know Dan Trout will be coming up, but again, this is another project in the downtown privately financed. We have Eastern Bank has underwritten one on the other side of the downtown, but now this is the trend that we're seeing, that the commercial banks are willing to lend on these projects in downtown. And that's another great sign for us and Dan will talk about the financing in just a few minutes. I just noticed Ward 7 Councilor Shirley Asack has joined us. Councilor, thank you for being here. So to say that we're excited about this project would be a dramatic understatement. And what I'm really looking forward to this summer is people complaining about how difficult it is to drive through downtown because of all the ongoing construction. And those will be complaints that I would be happy to field on a daily basis all summer long, because that's going to mean we've finally got to where we're trying to get to. Joffrey is the developer of this. Joffrey Anatole, wherever he is. There he is, right there. I'm going to bring Joffrey up. How did I stand for Joffrey? Joffrey is the guy that had the vision, the wherewithal, the work ethic, the expertise. If you're not familiar with the project he did last year over at 47 Pleasant Street, the Standard Modern Printing Building, it's a spectacular historic restoration of an old building that is another 100% market rate project. And I know that he brings all of that experience to this project, and we'll give him a chance to talk about it. But he has just done an incredible job, and I'm very glad that the BRA selected him to be the developer to redevelop this project. So, Joffrey?
I'm going to keep this short and sweet. It's really great to be involved in really Brockton's revitalization. I think that's what's going on right now. It's just exciting to be a part of it. I think that this project specifically is going to set the standard for what the future of Brockton, downtown Brockton holds. We're going ultra modern. It's new. It's sleek. It's something that hasn't been done, and it's 100% market rate. So it's going to have a good impact on the community. I think it's just going to be positive all around. And we're excited to get started. With that said, getting approvals, going through the whole process has definitely been a team effort, a community effort. I think I've talked to every single person here maybe 55 times. But a few people I do need to recognize, which I hate to do because I'll forget someone will get upset, but here goes. Obviously, number one, I need to recognize the mayor. Leadership, support, his commitment to improving Brockton. There was a building sitting here for 10 years and nothing happened. And, again, now we have 6 projects going on this year, 3 projects last year. I mean, the right projects in the right place, and it's exciting that things are finally coming to fruition and starting to change. So I need to thank you for everything, and obviously your support in this project. Brockton Redevelopment Authority. If I didn't have the opportunity to buy the land, I wouldn't be here. So I probably should thank Robert Jenkins, that guy right there, leather jacket. All the ward counselors at large. I feel like I've been at the nightly meetings once a week for a while, but it's been a team effort. Even when there are disagreements, I think it's great that you can get together, have a discussion, and be open-minded. So I appreciate that. Tom Monahan's the local ward counselor. I don't know if he's here, but again, all the ward counselors in general, I want to thank you guys. Planning, I need to thank Rob May, Pam Gurley, Shane O'Brien. Is Pam here? I call her every 15 minutes. That's why she didn't come. Sorry. BK Architects. Where's Dave Siebert? He's hiding back there. BK are the architects for the project, the design team, and they really have an incredible team. They're local. They've been a mainstay in downtown Brockton for over 50 years, and they're just good. I'm tough to work with, and they can put up with me, so it's good. And finally, I really need to recognize Mutual Bank, and I think it's worth elaborating on this a little bit. I had really good financing options for this project. And ultimately, I ended up meeting with Mutual Bank. They liked the project. They realized the value of the project, the impact it'll have on downtown, and they wanted to be involved. So they're financing the project from A to Z. They have an excellent team, and essentially, they stepped up to the plate and were able to work with me to create a package where, it was good for them, it was good for us, but for a private bank to do that locally, I think is unique. It's not something you see very frequently. I really want to call out Dan Trout, Richard Spencer, Jeffrey Charnell. Thank you guys. Again, you really stepped up to the plate, and I don't think that there are many banks that are capable of, putting a team together that was able to do a project like this. So it's unique, and I'm excited to work with you guys. It's especially good to work with a community bank on a community development project. If I need something, I can literally go to Jeff's office and slam on his window. So, again, yeah. So, it's nice to be able to work with people in the community, and there's not much more I can say about it. At this point, We have a lot of work to do, so we're looking forward to it. Thanks.
Thank you, Joffrey. And in terms of the downtown, I want to be sure to let you know that next week in our State of the City address, there are going to be a couple of very exciting announcements about more things going on in the downtown. So this is going to be a great year for the City of Brockton. As Joffrey mentioned, the participation of Mutual Bank is a big part of the story here also. A local bank with local people who know the city, who, as Joffrey said, gives the developer a chance to work one-on-one with local folks. It's tremendously important to the City of Brockton, and from the city's standpoint, we appreciate the commitment that Mutual Bank is making to the city by making a commitment to this project. And so I want to bring up Senior Vice President of Lending, Dan Trout, to say a few words.
I'll bend over. I'm a little thrown off. That's the slowest I've heard Joffrey talk about this project in 4 months. Nice job, Joffrey. So my name's Dan Trout. I'm the Senior Vice President of Commercial Lending at Mutual Bank, and on behalf of Mutual Bank, Rich Spencer, our CEO, is here, and we have many other employees here. On behalf of everybody at Mutual Bank, I want to thank you, Mayor, for the opportunity to say a few words. The impact of this project and the many other projects that have been completed, or in the process of being completed, or being contemplated, not only improves the city of Brockton, but helps the whole greater Brockton area, the Metro South area, prosper. Mutual Bank is excited to be a part of these positive changes. Mayor Carpenter and everyone else, and I won't even try to do what Joffrey did by thanking everybody in the city that was a part of this. You're to be commended for all the contributions that you've made to this project, bringing it to the point that it is now. Chris Cooney, CEO of the Chamber, Metro South Chamber, has commented several times that this is the fastest project from start to putting a shovel in the ground that he's seen in the 40 years. You've been here 40 years? In his 20 years in the Brockton area. Mutual Bank is excited to have been a part of that process. And of course, Joffrey Anatoli has been the champion of this project. His attention to detail, his drive to succeed, his desire to be and to breathe economic life into the city has been the driving force. All these attributes and strengths can be seen in that similar project that was mentioned earlier, the smaller project down at Standard Modern Building over on Pleasant Street. We look forward and are excited to be working with Joffrey on this new venture. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the person that spearheaded Mutual Bank's efforts in bringing the transaction to Mutual Bank. Jeffrey Charnell, Vice President, Commercial Lender at Mutual Bank, has worked with Joffrey from the beginning, being the point person for Mutual Bank. Talking, coaching, arguing, listening, and sometimes disagreeing with Joffrey, but always coming to an agreement in the end. We're always been excited to have Jeff on the Mutual Bank team. To sum it up, if you hadn't noticed, we get pretty excited about stuff, especially working with good people on good projects. And we're real excited to be working with Joffrey on this project and with the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. And no one works harder than Joffrey. I can attest to that also. He's been working nearly around the clock to pull this project together, and I think that's why it came together in such record time. If you can see the rendering behind me, it is a spectacular building, and it's going to be a huge addition to the face of downtown Brockton. And you know, one of the great things about this project is there are so many local people involved, a local lender, local contractors, local developer, and also a local architect. David Siebert from BKA is the architect. We'd like to invite David up to talk about his project.
Thanks, Mayor. Thanks to everybody at the city who's helped guide the process. It's always very important. We're very proud to be on the team. Thanks to Joffrey again, putting his faith in us one more time. How's that? How's that better? Yeah. I won't repeat that. It's great. We are a local architect. Been around for almost 50 years. I've personally been driving right down this street for 35 years, and here we are finally taking a project to hopefully a wonderful success. I know it will be, and again, thank you very much. We look forward to working with you.
All right, so I think at this point, you notice Joffrey bought donuts. I think he's trying to kill me already. What we'd like to do is get some of the different folks from BRA, the bank. We'll do a series of a few photos, but let's go over and do a ceremonial breaking of the ground with the right over by the Messina piece of equipment there. So invite everyone to join us over there for the official groundbreaking.
Another big moment in downtown Brockton as 47 West Elm Street has a groundbreaking ceremony to introduce market level housing to the downtown area. It's a vacant lot that's been vacant for over a decade. Fire knocking out the building finally torn down, laying vacant. But private developer has stepped up along with support from the community to create another opportunity to beautify the downtown area. There were many people involved, and it came together according to the elected officials in record time, and the construction should begin fairly soon.